Hey, it's Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres. Today's the 5th of January 2018. Happy New Year. And I thought I'd make another video to go along with the series Mangalitsa Privilege. Mangalitsa Privilege. And I think people are kind of interested in that, so I'm going to go with it. It's pretty cold out. It's about just a little after sunup. You can see there's the sun just came up about a half hour ago, maybe less. And I still got the moon over there. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm just coming out here to check on these guys. I come out about every day or so and look at them closely. My buddies came out with me too. That's Obi and Claire. Claire's the puppy. She's the one that's closest to us. She's about 7 months old, I think, 7 or 8 months old. And so she's the replacement to our other females that died not too long ago. But you can see she's got kind of a relationship with the pigs too. She doesn't like it if they are outside of their fence, but they're sort of friendly. And here's this group of 30. Where it's been so cold, I've spent more time in the house and reading comments on these videos, and normally I don't because I just don't get around to it. But I have, and one of the things that somebody said that stuck out in my mind is, why do you show pictures of your face? Nobody cares what you think. Nobody cares about your face. No, he didn't say that, but it's kind of true, and I'll take that. And I'm going to turn the camera around and just show the pigs. And another question was, or request was, can I go through a list of pros and cons with this animal? And I can do that, and that's what this is about. But there was another comment in there about something that I've known about for quite a while. And it has to do with climate change. Right? Now, everybody knows that we're experiencing climate change because for those of us that were born a ways back, I was born in '60. I remember in 1970 how fearful we were that, we were going into a new ice age. I've even seen some publications of that I remember from back then. 10 years old, telling us that we're going to have an ice age. And then, I don't know, probably when I was 20, they started talking about global warming, and that was going for a while. I thought that, we were going to have oceanfront property by now. And then it went to climate change. So now we're not in global warming mode anymore, we're in climate change mode. And I'm hearing stuff about solar minimums, but I'm not hearing this from the same people as that are putting out global warming and climate change and all that stuff. I was a big fan of Al Gore, but I guess his predictions were incorrect. So solar minimums, somebody mentioned something about that, and I think that is probably an accurate assessment of what's happening with the weather. It's definitely colder. We had a much shorter growing season for the last 10 years. And it looks like it's getting shorter. So, this pig becomes an asset when we start talking about solar minimums and a cooler temperature, a cooler, climate that seems to be coming our way. Well, I don't have to speculate on it. It's here. We're in our 15th day of very cold weather. So it gets very cold at night. And then during the day, it only gets up to about 5. And this is supposed to go on for another few days. And then we're going to have some balmy weather. It's going to be like 20 degrees for a while, which is good. You know, I mean, it's a big change. But we're used to this by now. We're used to operating in cold weather, so it's not going to have a huge effect. But here's where it will have a huge effect on the animals. I mean, they have to live in it. They have to live in it. We don't get to put them in the house. And I want to just show you these animals and how vibrant they are and how healthy they are. All right, these guys are doing really well. Look at that pig right there. He's in great shape, or she. And here they are. They're having something to eat. That's frozen bread on the ground over there. And then up here is where they're sleeping. There's their huts, but they are sleeping outside. So if we did go to a solar minimum model and we were going to have much cooler weather, that could affect our corn production across the country, and soybeans too. So feeds would be difficult. The price of feed would go up. You wouldn't have as much feed being grown as far north as we do now. And these animals, you know, if they were grown in a commercial environment in a CAFO, that's what they feed them. So the price of that feed would go up, and the price of that pork would go up. And it might even get to the point where it has an adverse effect on that market, because the pork coming out of CAFOs is crummy anyway. And if people had to pay more for it, they wouldn't. Here's where our guys were sleeping last night, in this pile of hay, pile of straw. They're also sleeping in the pile of hay over there too. But as you know, we are able to plant forages for these guys. And forages like field peas, turnips, radishes, rutabagas, all those root crops, they grow very well in cooler weather. Matter of fact, that's when they get their start, and they finish up in cooler weather. During the summer months, they go kind of dormant. They just sit there because they don't have the coolness to help them along. And I'm not sure why that is, but that's the way it is. I've seen that for a lot of years now. So if we were entering into a solar minimum, cooler weather, animals that will eat forages would become more advantageous for the farmer to have, because he could do better with them. And, you know, from a survival point of view, I've always said these animals will eat stuff that you and I can't, and then we can eat them. And they actually become very vibrant. Here, I'll turn the camera around there. Whoever that guy was, maybe he doesn't want to see me, wants to see the animals. They're very vibrant in this cold weather. They're not having any problems at all. With the Mangalitsa, a lot of pigs are like this. They get a little humped up in the back when they're not feeling good. And then their tails hang kind of limp. Well, there's a limp tail, but there's a curly tail. There's another straight tail. Straight tail, curly tail. All right. But here they are, chowing down on this hay and really liking it. So that's the advantage of the Mangalitsa Privilege, is their hardiness in a tough environment. I mean, these guys are having a good time. And we raised regular pigs, white pigs, Durocs, in this environment before, and they didn't do well at all. They pretty much want to sleep all day and stay huddled up all day. And that's not good. There's no moisture issues here with these guys because they're up and around. They were yesterday too, and it was blowing and snowing. They were up and around. It doesn't bother them with that heavy coat. And then they have the ability to dig. I'm getting close here, so I guess I'll cut it off there. But seeing as how the sun is shining on me today, I think I'll probably make a few more videos. It's Mark from Baker's Green Acres.